Now, I'm back in my intuition forest. I haven't been back here for probably a few months, but since the snowfall, I figured I'd stop in here and we'd have a little chat. Now, what I want to talk about is that this moment in time today is literally the best moment in the history of mankind to start a business, guys. It really is. Let's get into it. Now, some could argue that this may not be the best time to start a business. We've got high inflation, assets are at all-time highs, wages are kind of high in general. The economy, it's kind of doing not so good. You hear a lot about layoffs left and right from the big tech companies and other firms as well. Maybe you see small restaurants going in and out of business, whatever it is, going out of business, I mean. And so you debate with yourself, do I really want to start this business right now? And I'll tell you what, you should, okay? If you have the drive and the motivation and the idea to do a great business, I recommend doing so. Now is just as good of a time, if not the best time in the history of mankind. And why is that? It's AI, guys. AI has only been here for 3 years and it's only going to get better. And you're going to be able to take advantage of how much better it's going to get. All right. Now, I know a lot of people are skeptical about AI, but here's what people aren't saying about it. It's the ultimate oracle of oracles. Okay. That is what I'm talking about here. It's the ability to gather information instantly, and that is power, guys. That is why people hire people who have experience, because they can give an answer right away. And now you have the experience of every professional out there to give you advice. Okay, now it doesn't give you reasoning, no doubt. It's not that smart yet, okay? But it's gonna be, okay? And if you start a business today, you have all that information at your fingertips to make decisions in a business. Now, that doesn't mean it's a free pass to become successful when it comes to business. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know your craft. You gotta know your market. You gotta sell, okay? Selling is probably 90% of any small business or big business out there. And you know, can ChatGPT or other AI tools help you sell? Maybe, maybe not. But it's going to give you the tooling that'll help you sell, okay? Whether it's social media, whether it's marketing material, whether it's an entire website. It used to be 20 years ago, you needed an entire team of developers like myself to come in a room, plan out a website, plan a design out. But today, you don't need any of that. You just vibe code it on one of these, websites like builder.io. That's a tool that we're using. And all you need is a skeleton crew. Maybe 1 or 2 tech people to run your website, run your marketing campaign, et cetera, et cetera. You can do more with less. And here's the thing, guys, is that all the incumbents that are out there, 90% of them, guys, aren't using AI. They're not. Most mom and pop shops, they don't even have a clue about what AI can do today. And they're skeptical about it. They don't think it works really well. And they don't want it to take jobs, I guess, so on and so forth. So that is your opportunity to strike while the iron is hot right now, when most of these incumbents, most of these companies that are still doing business today, that are overinflating all their prices, you can take them out. You can take them out by undercutting them because you will have built-in efficiencies for a particular business model, okay? You will have used AI in your business, okay? Whether it's, personnel, or whether it's tooling for websites or software, automation, whatever it may be. Guys, this is your time to shine. It is the best time to do it. Now, if you're my age, 45 and older, you might think twice about that. Starting a business beyond 45 is not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of time away from you and your family. So, you know, if you have a good job, stable job, making good income, maybe it's not for you, okay? But if you're in your 20s and your 30s and you're motivated and you got your hustle on and you're sick of your day job maybe, you have this opportunity. You can literally do this on the side. You can build a business on the side these days with AI, no doubt. So, you know, if you got the motivation to do it, I say this is no better time than now. Honestly, it's the end of 2025, guys. We're going into 2026. And if you've had this dream, I say go for it. You know, I'm in my intuition forest. This is what this forest is telling me today, is that this is a great time to start a business. It honestly is. The reason I'm doing this video is I saw this YouTuber called Zach Rios. He reviews like TikTok videos, mostly personal finance. And I caught one the other night talking about how all these small businesses are failing. It's because they're overpriced. Okay, they're trying to sell t-shirts for $120 with a smile on the t-shirt, you know? There's so many inefficiencies when it comes to competing businesses out there. All you gotta do is use AI to your advantage and beat them out. Take their market share, guys. I don't care how big the company is or how small. You could literally compete nowadays with, dare I say, Amazon. You literally could. You could start a warehouse business where you source products and build better robots than them. Because you have AI to build software now. You don't need this mega huge team to build software and technology like this anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not going to be easy, but you could compete. You can compete now with the best of breed and the worst of breed, okay, when it comes to other companies out there. I just think that I hear a lot about people complaining about how there's no opportunities and no jobs out there. They apply to hundreds and hundreds of, you know, job postings and all this stuff. And it's like, guys, it's right in front of you. Take a look. You got Google, you got YouTube, you got social media, you got ChatGPT, you got Anthropic, you got Cursor, you got every single tool that every entrepreneur in the history of mankind would have loved to have had, would have died to have had when they started their business. And now they probably watch what's happening now, and they're like, man, I did all that work for 20, 30 years, and yes, they probably got where they wanted to be, but it took them a lot longer and a lot more work, and it was just hard in general. Nowadays, you got these tools, you got an opportunity while some people aren't taking those opportunities, because here's the thing. Eventually, the market's going to become saturated with lots of people who actually understand and use AI. And when that happens, it'll be harder to compete. Okay, so you want to get there, you want to get market share before everyone else does. That's the honest truth, guys. So if you're motivated, if you got an idea, it's got to be a good idea, okay? Can't be a bad idea for a business model. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy. It could be advanced laundromats that are more efficient than the other laundromat out there, you know? It could be any sort of business model. It doesn't have to be tech related. It doesn't have to be fancy, because AI levels the playing field, okay? And if you understand this, you can beat out the competition. Beat them out penny by penny, undercut the inflation that's out there, because it's still out there. You can still undercut them and beat them out. So hopefully this motivates you guys. Even if you're not going into entrepreneurial business, small business, take what I'm saying to heart and use it inside of your department so that a disruptor who wants to take your business out doesn't do so, right? That's the other thing. Take advantage of AI in your department and become the lead AI agent liaison, whatever that means. You know, it goes both ways. You know, you can succeed in your business as well, an established business. You know, this video doesn't have to be just for the entrepreneur out there. So hopefully this video helps you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think about AI. Are you using it in your business? Maybe a small business. Maybe you're an entrepreneur already and you're building something up. I hope you are. So anyways, if you guys could like and subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it. And everyone take a look at my previous video, and have a good day, guys. Later.